Harshvardhan Patil sir, Honorable Executive Director Dr. Girish Desai sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Manimala Puri sir, Puri madam, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Sudeep Thepde sir, and my respected HOD Dr. Archana Rathod madam, for giving me opportunity to host this webinar. I'd like to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. Nandkumar Shinde, who is a scholar, a PhD guide, a philosopher, a social media influencer, a singer, and above all, my best friend. He completed MA in English in 1997, yes, with first class from Pune University. He is SET and NET in English. He's completed MBA in HR from Pune University. He's a postdoctorate from Bonn University, Germany. He's published 2 books in Marathi, one short story collection named as Cycle Chor, and novel Pandra Sadra Khaki Vizar. 4 research books are available on Amazon with international publications. His area of interest is film studies. Sir is currently working as a head of the department, School of Holistic Development, MIT ADT University, Pune. Before we start, I request my respected HOD to take us on a virtual tour of PCO.
Dr. Sharon, kindly give me the right of screen sharing.
Yes, ma'am, it's given, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
थोड़ा सा बीच में ये हुआ था, अदरवाइज आया काफी। इंटरनेट का कुछ इशू था ना क्या?
Thank you, HOD madam, for this. Shinde sir, we are eagerly waiting to know your perception of movies and education. Shinde sir, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Kendre, for giving a nice introduction of me. And I'm really thankful to Pimpri Chinchwad University for giving me this opportunity to address very eminent professors, panelists, and many important dignitaries of Pimpri Chinchwad University. So I'm really happy to address to all of you. Well, I have been given a choice to select the subject. And because I'm from literary background, I wanted to select a subject that would really create interest for everybody. So I thought most of you are not aware about literature. Students are not maybe aware of literature. So very parallel film, which is very own shadow of a literature. I selected to speak on those lines on this particular subject. I hope everybody is well familiar with Indian, Hindi, and English movies. So I wish that I get some answers from you when I ask some questions, and I hope the sessions will be interactive.
Yes.
Well, so before I begin my presentation, sir, can I share my? Can you allow me to share my screen?
Yes, sir, you are allowed.
Well, no, it still said host disabled.
Sharon, could you
Yes, sir, it
please
is
help us
done.
out?
You are allowed to share the screen.
Okay. So is it now visible? My screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's begin movies and education. Now we always have movies and education as thesis and antithesis because we believe that students are distracted from education because of movies. Movies make negative impact on students and that restrict their development in education. Students get wrong education through movies or movies impact them negatively. So whatever is the opinion, all of education, family, educationalists across the country and the world have taken movies as one of the very important aspects of education. So movies can be used as an educational tool. And now I'm expert of this because I have attended some of the film appreciation workshops. And as I said in the beginning, it is a parallel to literature. So naturally, literary studies and movie studies go hand in hand. And from many theories, educational theories and many psychological theories, it has been evident that movies do have a very important role to play when it comes to education. And movies obviously are a very favorite topic of everybody. So let me begin with asking a question. Can somebody tell me what is your favorite movie? I can ask same question with what is your favorite book, novel, anything. Either you can answer me a question with novel or with a movie. What is your favorite movie? Let's begin with Kendre sir. Any movie that has appealed you, that you liked, that has made some impact on you, or you love watching it again and again?
Sir, my favorite movie is Guru. Abhishek
Okay.
Bachchan.
Guru, made by Mani Ratnam, acted by Abhishek Bachchan, and it is said to be based on the lives of Dhirubhai Ambani.
Yes, sir.
And call it biopic of Dhirubhai Ambani. Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Guru is a movie that has impacted a lot of people. Even I have seen that movie and I liked it. Anyone else in the group? Or educationalists or academicians do not watch movie? Shall we go ahead with this conclusion? Any other? Hemant Sharma, sir. Dr. Hemant, I know you are from literary background, so you must have watched few good movies. Okay, somebody has put a message in the chat box. Okay, Kamlesh Meshram, sir. 3 Idiots. Yes. Based on the novel of Chetan Bhagat and directed by Rajkumar Hiranandan, one of the very creative, innovative filmmaker. Okay, so I believe 3 Idiots is a movie that is liked by everybody. Okay, anybody would like to say something? Okay. I was expecting few good answers from you. Anyway, so
Our friend Dr. Hemant Sharma is saying something.
Dr. Sharma, please.
Yes,
Is
yes,
it
you are audible.
I'm not able to listen anything.
You are visible but inaudible.
No, his
Yes.
sir's voice is
Now,
little very low. Sir, can you raise your voice, please? Or you can chat in the comment. I will go with the chat box, please. Okay, so I understand that he can join anytime and answer my question. But anyway, so movies are important part of our life. We are surrounded by movies. They are unavoidable. Movies do make a very deep impact on our psyche of society, culture, different aspects of life, and so why not education? It cannot remain. Arzu, okay, very old film, sir. Good, but Arzu, I remember. I think start by Rajendra Kumar. Am I right? Okay, Titanic. Well, the movie which has got most Oscar awards, Oscar awards, breaking the record of Ben-Hur. So Titanic was a movie which definitely also it made the highest business in the world. Okay, so you all are aware about movies and you watch movies regularly, I guess. Okay, so when we talk about education, now we all are in the field of education. What exactly we can define education? Now, a lot of scientists, lot of philosophers, educationalists have defined it in many ways. Swami Vivekananda said, education is a manifestation of the best already present in the learner. Some say education is a tool of social reformation, which Mahatma fully believed. Some believe that right education can lead people towards right direction. Some also say that if you educate some people in a negative way, you can create bigger negative impact on the society. So, it can be defined in many ways. And I have come up with certain conclusions. I think education must give a sense of aesthetics. Now, aesthetics is appreciation of beauty wherever it is present, in the form of art, in the form of nature, book, literature, in any form. If you develop that sense, I believe education serves this purpose of bringing up the sense of aesthetic appreciation. I think anything that is perfect looks beautiful, and anything that is beautiful contains all the elements of perfection. So I think to understand aesthetics, and aesthetics can be, it can be anywhere. Engineers can see machines aesthetically, constructions aesthetically, and so on. Scientists can see his own research aesthetically. But in general, as a human being, I think we should have this sense of aesthetics. When you read a poem, जैसे लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती, तो ये पोएम टच करता है बिकॉज इट हैज एस्थेटिक वैल्यू, राइट? तो उसमें आगे भी काफी कुछ चीजें आती है. सो love for literature, love for art, love for films. As I said, film is an integral part of art and literature. So to develop aesthetic is one of the aspect of education. I think the School of Liberal Art, which Pimpri Chinchwad University is, is bringing on the table for the students. Liberal arts is also one of the aspect of bringing up aesthetics in everything. Well, I said art and culture. So let it be an engineer, let it be a doctor, architect, design engineer, educationally scientist. We are a part of a culture. We live in a culture. We represent culture. We create culture. We assimilate culture. We mix culture. And so culturally, we are connected with our roots. So I think education impart the awareness about art and culture, I believe. I think everybody is with me. You agree? If you don't agree, you can interact with me.
Yes,
So
sir, we are with you.
It is one of the purpose of education to bring awareness, to bring sensibilities and likings for art and culture. Obviously, knowledge to know. Very famous sentence of philosopher Rene Descartes. He said, I think, therefore I am. So knowledge, we are too much curious about everything. So I will give an example how films can give you a knowledge, how film can be a tool of education. So knowledge is definitely, we look forward to. Now, what knowledge and exactly anything can be called as knowledge when you visualize life in that way. Well, education also expects people to be a creator. You have to be a creator. I think engineer, all engineer. In English, engineer is also a verb. Now, I think we use in politics also social engineering, when you combine different sections of society, caste, religion, for a common motto, that is called social engineering. So education is to create creators. I think in making of movie, a lot of creativity is involved because entire movie making is a genre that is based on innovation, creation, and visualization. So a lot of creativity is involved in that. Well, there are separate programs and courses. Pune is known for Film Institute, FTI. So Pune is known for that, and Delhi is known for National School of Drama. So they create creators. They create producers, movie makers, editors, and so on. And as Rene Descartes' example, I think, therefore I am. So thinking process is initiated through education. So when considering all these factors together, we can say that education is making us human being and making us better human being to look at the things in a very better way. I think anybody who is educated can understand, can interpret the things in a very different way. Education is also related about degrees and so on. So education, one can say that I learn because I want to earn something. And education can give skills to people, employability and everything. Well, apart from that, because I'm a student of literature and art, I found these elements very much related to education. So I hope everybody is with me and everybody understood why I emphasized on education. What is my emphasis on education? What exactly I'm looking at education from what perspective? So this is an artistic perspective about education. Okay. So these are the outcomes, or these are the issues that we can relate with education. Okay. Going ahead with that, I would like to now say, now what is movies? You all know that the pictures, when they are moved in 16 pictures in 1 second, can make the picture live the way I am visible to you. It means that the streaming is happening very fast, and that's why it's visible. The art of photography came in some around 1860s, and the photography converted into movie. One first motion picture also came in around 1890s, and I think the first movie that appeared on in the world stage, it was a train moving in a station, which was shown in the theater, and everybody started running. They thought the train will come in the theater. So it was a miracle in the beginning to see the movies happening, something's happening on the screen. And as you know, history of Indian film, Raja Harishchandra, made by great Dada Saib Phalke, released in India in 1913-14. So just after a few years from the world, India copied the art of movie making. And Darasaheb Phalke is also called as the father of Indian cinema. That's why award Darasaheb Phalke is given to great people. And this year also it was given. Again, my question, who is the recipient of Darasaheb Phalke award this last year or this year? Okay. So with the question, we go ahead. Movies, again, I said, started from that in 1913 with the introduction of Raja Harishchandra. Then first movie with the sound came in the form of Alamara, I think 1932. And since then, we have color movies. Nauranga was the first movie that was made in color. Then we had first Peak Cinema Sholay was released, and then we had 3D cinema, then we had so on, animated films. And nowadays, there are so many varieties of movies and so many of things. So movie itself is a historiography of study. And it also shows you how culture is changed, transformed from generation to generation. Okay. So movies is an audio visual impact. Movies are different. When I said a lot of people, a lot of students have, I have not taken subject as a novel or literature because I believe a lot of people are not able to read nowadays. Even I have taken a book and trying to read it, but I hardly finished 50 pages in last week. So reading has become very difficult for us. Movies are not. Movies is making your life very easy. You become passive. Everything is happening in front of you. Music and setting and dialogues and characters and everything. Something is said in the form of subtitles and everything. So movies have audio visual effect. I think that is one of the tool that we should use. I think ICT has given us that tool to make our teaching effective. So movies are based on audio visual. That's why they are quite familiar. We know a lot of dialogues na, from the movie because it was created ना. जैसे जब तक बैठने के लिए कहा ना जाए शराफत से खड़े रहो. Anybody knows this dialogue from? और बड़े बड़े देशों में छोटी छोटी बातें होती रही और अपनी कुर्सी की पेटी बांध लो मौसम बदलने वाला है. All these dialogues have impacted on us from generations. कितने आदमी थे, something like that. Because movies have audio visual impact on our mind, on our entire thinking process, and it goes into the society. It becomes a collective memory for the society, for the nation, for the generation. Well, another integral part of movie is music. And how can we ignore? We have given Bharat Ratna to Lata Mangeshkar. We have given a lot of Bharat Ratna. Ravi Shankar, Pandit Ravi Shankar ji is blessed with, I mean, he was deserving person for Bharat Ratna. So we understand when we give Bharat Ratna to C.V. Raman, when we give Bharat Ratna to APJ Abdul Kalam, Ambedkar, similarly, we also understand the importance of music. So a lot of musical legends have received awards for this. So music is also integral part of our life. In remote areas, somewhere in Kashmir or in remote areas in Tamil Nadu, let it be Kerala, remote village in Bidar, people entertain themselves with radio, TV. If you go to a pawn shop, the continuous music is going on everywhere. So music is an integral part. And if you believe, most of the music is a product of our films. Lata Mangeshkar has sung more than 1 lakh songs. So any song that you can memorize about Lata Mangeshkar, it is related to a film. So movies, we cannot, I said, without listening a song, our day do not pass. Our ringtones have music. Some of the people keep their status in a very musical way. Some movies are made of music. I mean, the theme of that particular movie is also music. For example, in Marathi recently, Katyar Kaळजात Ghusli, a movie was very popular. Many songs were popular in that movie. So music connects us with each other. Music connects us with our culture, society, and art. So again, some songs, I think We play Antakshari for hours together because we know songs by heart. We know songs emotionally. We connect with the songs very easily. So that's one of the essential aspects of music. I think in few years back, maybe less than 10 years back, one movie, La La Land, received an Oscar. Entire movie was based on the music. The theme of that entire movie was music. So movies do make a lot of impact. Well, what is movie? It's a story told in a visual form, right? When you tell a story through words, you tell a story through painting, you can tell a story through sculpture. Movies is one of the way of storytelling, and we all are very eager to listen to stories. Huh? That is one of the basic curiosity of human being. If you see Bible itself is a collection of storybooks, stories, the Noah's boat and so on. So all these stories we listen from very our childhood till today. When we go to watch in a theater and we see the title Kuni Kaun, so we want to know who is the murderer. So suspense is created because fear is one of the, or curiosity is one of the rasa of life. When we say love story, so we go there to watch a love which is eternal factor of our life. So even Ramayana Mahabharata stories, right? Ramayana is also a story of a mythological hero called Rama, who is abided with a lot of cultural aspects in his own era, how it happened, how it unfolded, and the victory of good over evil is a theme of Ramayana. That ultimately Rama defeats Ravana because having all the qualities and all the forms of complete human being, almost a godly figure, Ravana was very, very powerful, and a very common man like Rama went on and defeated him. So, victory of good over evil. I think 99% of the stories across our Indian or any culture, they represent that, the values, human values, the victory of human values in the form of movies, stories. So I think listening to story or knowing about different characters, stories, and incidents is one of the factors that movie satisfies. So movie is a legitimate way to satisfy our curiosity. Well, now what is movie? Is it art or science? Somebody said it's 100% science because entire movie making process is a scientific process. The camera is a scientific object invented by science. The film is a scientific object. Development, editing, putting music, the sequence of music, everything. It's a science because scientifically you have to long shot, medium shot, close up, zoom in, zoom out, rolling shot, running shot, something like that. So all these are scientific aspects. Without science, movies cannot be made. The basic science, the development of movie in the lab and everything. You all know it's a science, but it's not just science. It is a good blend of art. So when we watch, as somebody said, Three Idiots, so it's a story of how we judge students on the basis of their performance. Some may be genius in his own field, but by putting up certain parameters, by putting a certain yardstick to somebody's performance, will be completely unjustified. It cannot be right way. So that's why it has become an art. I mean, the entire story that happens in that campus and how students' life is completely bothered with the studies and that beautiful song, Sari Umr Bhar Hum Mar Mar Ke Ji Liye, या फिर the opening song, Behti Hawa Sat Hao. So that was melodious song and that was art and combination with science. Titanic movie. Now you know Titanic movie. Most of the shots are done in a swimming pool. The entire boat going down and the chimney of that ship falling down, killing thousands of people, and all those are shoot in a pond, in a small tough. But the effect, we see that the Titanic was the greatest of ship. The kind of angle that are taken from the beginning, we see that the Titanic is a gigantic ship. It's the biggest moving object on the earth at that time. So it's possible because it was art as well as science. When I said the movie was black and white, because the science of colors was not invented that time. Movie started with without voice. Most of the Charlie Chaplin's movies are without voice. There is no dialogue because that time the science was not developed to put the dialogues into the movie. But still, Charlie Chaplin's movies are so entertaining and they give us life lessons. And he became a legend, and he has given us a lesson that when in whatever situation you can make life funny, life enjoyable, laughable. So this was his way of that. Well, so art and science is a rare combination in movie. We cannot separate them. Well, now my question: how many of you have watched these movies? Now, if you see, I have selected certain movies. They are not ordinary movies. Can you tell me why they are not ordinary? What makes them extraordinary? And these are few of the movies. Even I have seen them many a times. These are different movies. Let's take an example of Life of Pi. The movie received Oscar award. And the story, if you've seen the picture, I think most of you have watched it. Well, interactive session will make it more interesting. Anybody can comment on this. Which is your favorite movie, or do you agree that these are the best movies? They are extraordinary movies, I say. Not in terms of story, in terms of treatment, in terms of themes that they carry. And the entire story, the way it gets unfolded is, I mean, tremendous. So, right, Aligarh, based on a true incident, that a professor was dismissed from university, Aligarh University, for having his illegitimate relationship with somebody, his male counterpart. And that was a realistic movie. But when you go through the movie, you understand the pain, the agonies, the realities of life about a person who is not conventionally gendered, right? Either is not male and female. So this type of dichotomy is making life horrible. Sometimes life become miserable. The story is made in such a way. I think the acting of Manoj Vajpayee, and legendary actor, as you know. I mean, all these people in these movies are actors. Now there is a basic difference between actor and star, right? You know, there are stars, which I'm going to see in the next movie. There are stars. These are actors. Why they are actors? Because they have mastered in portraying the characters. When they enter into the character, you don't see that person. You don't see Manoj Vajpayee in that movie. You see a professor, Aligarh University's professor. Irfan Khan. In Lunchbox is a retired person. The body movements of his, when he enters the office, when he eat his lunch, when he do his calculations, when he finish all his day, very monotonously and meticulously doing the things, and then the other opposite character appears in his life. Well, it's a, I mean, love stories is one of the favorite subject of all movies. Let it be Titanic, even Three Idiots basically was a love story. Lunchbox was a story, but Lunchbox love story was very different. It is not a conventional love story. It's not that good-looking hero falls in love with a good-looking human being, and the stereotyping young, no, the world is Alice in Wonderland, and they just enjoy. They come together, and then some scenes in Switzerland, something like that. It is a very different love story. Two people completely frustrated in their life get connects with a lunchbox. The thread that binds them together without understanding, without seeing, without knowing each other. And the movie is progress in Mumbai, in the backdrop of Mumbai. You can see the personality of the city, the trains, the singing in the train. It's very symbolic also. So all these things put together, it's a beautifully woven story, a love story. And the end is again, if you know, all big movies, all great movies do not give you simplified end. That they married and they lived happily since then. It's not that kind of end. All great movies provide you a complicated end. There are certain movies where debates have been still unanswered. There are a lot of discussions going on, researches going on. What exactly the writer wanted to say in the end? What was the output of the movie? For example, Cast Away. The Tom Hanks was caught in an island, and when he comes back, and in the end, it's a very simple. I mean, one van comes with a parcel, and he asks the address to the woman, and woman says, "Go in that direction," and the movie ends. And we say, how can it end like that? Or even Life of Pi, he tells there are two stories. One story that I told you, that I spent 40, 50 days with tiger in the ocean in a single boat. Unbelievable? Forget it. Take the second story. I survived and I came back. Let the insurance process go on. So the story, it's D.H. Lawrence has given a very beautiful sentence on this. He said, believe the story, don't believe the narrator. Believe the story. If the story is convincing to you, yes, it's a story. Well, so I think these are the movies. I feel there is a big difference between good movies and bad movies. It's like a food. If you eat fast food, it's very tasty, very enchanting. It invites you. You cannot control yourself. You crave for it, but finally you pay the price for it. I think the entire society's collapse, valueless society that we are witnessing around us, is because we have not paid proper attention to the factors which are influencing our thinking, which are influencing our behavior. So if people are not exposed to these movies, they will not understand. I think good books also do that. They filter the minds of the reader. They filter the mind behavior. Good entertainment is as good as good food. So I think, and when I talk about fast food and their effect on the body, and when I talk about good food and that effect on the body, these are some of the examples. Well, if you have not watched any of these movies or some of these movies, please, I mean, it will make a big difference in your thinking process. Well, now when I talked about these movies, I think some of these movies you must have watched, right? Well, I don't remember which movie I have watched, but I have. I mean, I can't digest this food. This is not my kind of food. So I refrain from these. But these movies, as I said in the beginning, a question: is a movie an art form or a business? Both. Because making a movie costs you a lot of money. It's not writing a novel. You take a pen and paper and write it down. If it's successful, it's okay. Not successful, go. In a movie, I heard that in making a Marathi movie, it requires 5 to 10 crore rupees. The investment that is required. Praveen Tarte in one of the interviews said that Mulchi pattern, it cost him 10 crore. Now, Mulchi pattern was it was not a great location-based movie. There were not any sets and big scenes or something like that. He used day-to-day settings, right? But still, even the actors in that movie were not the superstars. But still, that movie cost him that much. A lot of movies are costing around 25 crores, 50 crores, 100 crores. I heard Adi Purush total costing was equal to the costing that we launched Chandrayaan towards moon. So the cost of Chandrayaan is equal to the cost of Adi Purush. But what happened in the end? It was a severe criticism and the movie failed drastically. As we all know, India is the highest producer of movies. In Bollywood, around 400 to 500 movies are produced every year. So if you consider each movie's cost around 10 crore, you can imagine the budget, you can imagine the workforce that goes on into making of it. But ultimately, what does it produce? Why? I mean, if the audience become quite mature, like the audience in Western countries, you will have certain movies making very successful. Now, a movie made on Stephen Hawking's life, Theory of Everything, I think, it became a super duper hit in that country because the audience is mature. The audience likes that type of movie. Yes, but definitely Endgame and Spider-Man and all these series are also successful. They also make huge money. But ultimately, movies is a business. If you are a customer, if you are forced to watch a movie, when Bahubali's producer says, Rajamouli, I created a movie and I knew that I will make 1,000 crore business. How he knew? He understood the taste of the people. Well, people like pani puri and pastas. Serve them. Serve them. I don't mind about their health. I don't mind about their entertainment values. I don't want to mean anything. I just want to make business. So with this business mindset, if such movies are made, and we are forced to watch these movies indirectly because we are a consumer. Bombarding is done through all sort of things on you. You are convinced that this is a good movie in the social media, everywhere. Marketing budget sometimes is equal to the budget of the movie making. The stars, their interviews, their gossiping, their controversies, everything is fueling the atmosphere, and then you go and watch the movies. And there is also a boycott trend nowadays. I mean, it's very controversial, so I don't want to touch upon them. But definitely movies do make or do break the society, right? Opinion creation, public perception creation happens through movie and in a very big scale. Well, right before the taking of power or snatching of power by the Nazis, they particularly made certain movies in order to spread hatred amongst the Germans against Jews. The movies, the cartoons, everything was made in that way that people indirectly created their opinion about that. I think the entire, we see students' behavior like that. I think most of the students after 3 days, they said, sir, means education is not important. Well, failures in education system are highest successful people. Look at Bill Gates, look at Tesla's owner, look at Jeff Bezos and Sachin Tendulkar, then look at, so they gave a lot of examples. Dhirubhai Ambani. So, movies create wrong impression that, well, education is not important. But then if you ask him, Sundar Pichai is a topper of IIT. Sundar Pichai was a scholar throughout his career. So all the engineers in the company are topmost brains of the country. That's why these companies are successful. And they all are the products of education system that we have in India. And because of that education system, these heroes are created. These are not created only with the wish to become great. There has to be. One Henry Ford was not educated, but the team worked under him was highly educated, and they have studied everything about science. They are meticulously educated, meticulously knowing about their fields. They are master of their field. That's why the first car came into existence. So movies give very bad things in the society. The fashion, the kind of arrogance, even the women's objectification. What is we have seen in the movie, definitely it's create a bad perception towards women. I think entire society is going through that because of the movies that we have made, the movies that has been popular in India. I believe the moment we tend towards artistic movies, the movies that tell us art, the movies tell us about other things, values, value systems, sensitivity. So all these things, even environmental awareness. Devra is a movie which received National Award for environmental awareness. If you see the movie, you can understand how the beauty of Konkan, how the greenery, and how it is important to protect. And there is other side of the city where the concrete jungles are made. Well, all these issues can be delivered through education. I believe it's one of the most emphatic way of dealing with social issues. Since young generation is vulnerable towards movies, they can be easily targeted, they can be easily brainwashed. Good movies can make that. I think even in the education system, why can't we have a regular movie screening? Good movies. Let students judge themselves. Let them understand what is a real movie, why movies are important to our life. That way, that can happen. I think one of the best movie. Well, I really request all of you to watch these movies. My favorite movie. This movie is also taken in the syllabus of many universities as a case study. The movie also has its English version and Hindi version. In English, it's called 12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men. It is made in 1957. You can imagine. The movie is made in 1957. 12 people sit in a room and discuss a case, a murder. And you can take all sort of learning from it, from that movie. Interpretation skills, communication skills, how prejudices are formed in the mind of people, how we are socially biased, how we are gender biased, and how we can come to the conclusion, how to win an argument. That the outcome of that movie, not for the sake of winning, but if you really want to search for the truth, and if you really want to make people of different mindsets agree with you, it's one of the analytical thinking is one of the output of that movie. Cross thinking, parallel thinking. So a movie can give you a complete management lesson, that how we can reach to the facts, how we can reach to the end of the subject. So that movie is also made in Hindi. If I compare, I think I like the Hindi version, made by Basu Chatterjee and acted by great Pankaj Kapoor. I mean, mind-blowing acting. All 12 people. In Hindi, the movie is called Ek Ruka Hua Faisla. एक रुका हुआ फैसला. तो मुझे लगता है यू जस्ट आप दिखा सकते हो, सब स्टूडेंट को दिखा सकते हो. अब ये मूवी बोरिंग हो सकता है बिकॉज हमको आदत लगी पानी पूरी की और भेलपुरी की. If we give them spinach, we give them nutrient food, they will not like it. Leafy vegetables and so on. But I think watching a movie can be made a habit, can be inculcated in the students. So even in that one movie, you can cover entire syllabus, really, entire syllabus. How people deal with each other, how this arrogance, all these bad habits, and what are the bad factors of communication. We can, even communication skill. Kendra sir, you can take this movie as an example, case study in your class. I really,
Yes,
I have watched, I mean, innumerable times, and definitely like that. There is an ocean of movies. I mean, today, if somebody takes an example of any good movie that I talked about and watch it, I think my efforts are successful. As a teacher, I will be really happy. A presenter, I will be happy, because I feel the downfall of society doesn't happen overnight, doesn't happen speedily, and it can be stopped by such efforts. So, well, in the end, some of the movies that you must watch before you close your eyes for the last time. As we say that we must watch Taj Mahal, we must watch Kedarnath, or we must go to Eiffel Tower, or we must visit London, Switzerland, or Bara Jyotirling, whatever is your faith and whatever is opinion. I believe there are certain movies you must watch and must realize what art is hidden that. Now, Schindler's List, terrible movie. I mean, again, black and white. Only one scene is in this girl, and I can assure you, it will bring tears in your eyes when you watch this movie. So, Schindler's List is a movie made by a Jew, Steven Spielberg. This movie portrays what happened before, what happens with the Jews. And this Oskar Schindler, I am fortunate, I visited house of Oskar Schindler in Germany. It was in Frankfurt. Oskar Schindler was a great humanist who saved lives of millions of Jews, though he was a German. And how he did that was and generation that came after, they take the name that we belong to Schindler's List. So Oscar Schindler's List is still going on. There are thousands and lakhs of people who survived because of that single man. So, and the story is very touchy. It was a historical document. A lot of facts are involved. Now, this can be taken as a propaganda movie, but it is not, because it talks about humanitarian angle that was involved in killing of other people, hatred. So that's why I feel one of the greatest movies of all time. These are few of my favorites. If somebody visits me, I can give you 100 movies that are in my collection. Take free of cost, which actually I exerted them long time, maybe 10 years to collect those movies, but I can give you free of cost. And Forrest Gump. Well, recently Amir Khan's Lal Singh Chadda was made on that. Very poor efforts. Failure, because you cannot copy the soul. You can copy the face, but you cannot copy the soul. Forrest Gump is a character that gives you a lot of hopes in life. I mean, if Forrest Gump can live a happy life, despite of having a lot of difficulty in his life, we can easily. I mean, Tom Hanks is genius of his times, even a lot of his films, but Forrest Gump is one of my favorite movie. Shawshank's Redemption. Shawshank is a jail name of, like, we have Andaman, Sajai Kala Pani, something like that. Now this movie, this movie appeared in the same year when Forrest Gump appeared, and Forrest Gump grabbed a lot of Oscars, and this movie went unnoticed. This movie was tremendously unsuccessful on box office. Today, if we compare these both, Shawshank Redemption has got 9 out of 10 stars. Its rating is 9, beyond Forrest Gump. It is a classic movie. It is one of the movies that tells you how hope is important in life. A man who was imprisoned for 60 years for killing his wife, which he is not committed that crime, but the way he lived his life in jail and how he comes out of that jail is a story of that man. How one person can bring out lights in the life of thousands and give hope to others is one of the must-watch movie. Again, Green Mile, Tom Hanks. Do watch. Again, it's based on crime, jail, punishment, and so on. Rashomon is a Japanese movie. It's made in 1951. And still, it is considered as one of the greatest miracle of human creation, human mind. Because in that movie, a murder happens and all interpretations happen from different parts of that murder. And finally, we also come to know that how difficult it is to interpret human mind. Whom should we believe? What is the truth? And truth is never going to come in front of us. Because again, we also have our own perception. Truth is beyond perception. So all these movies, I mean, these are some of the movies that I have shown. Well, so Kendra sir, I think we have come to the conclusion. I don't want to go beyond the time limit, as in movies, 1 second costs lakhs of rupees. So I don't want to. I want to strictly follow the discipline of movies. Well, I hope I have given you something from my own experience. I am a student of movies, and you can say this is just my thinking, my perception about the movies, and movies can make. I have shown a lot of movies to students and tried to bring some changes in their behavior, which is education is all about. Education is the change in behavior, which is relatively permanent. Thank you so much again, Pimpri University, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak to you. And I hope I made some difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It was an intellectual feast for all of us. We really enjoyed your session. You convinced and persuaded us to change our perception towards movies and education. Hemant Sharma, are you there? Hemant Sharma, sir, are you there? Hemant Sharma, sir, are you there?
Sharma sir,
I,
your voice
I,
is not audible.
I request my colleague friend Dr. Hemant Sharma, sir, to propose vote of thanks. Hemant Sharma, sir.
Am I audible? I'm very sorry, sir. If my voice be some problem there, I think. Sir, am I audible now?
Your voice is
Yes,
not
sir.
audible.
Shinde sir is not able to listen to me. Kente sir, if you don't mind, how can I?
Please continue. Hemant Sharma, sir, please continue.
Shinde sir, if you listen me, please. It was very wonderful session done by you, and really you have been proven yourself as encyclopedia to the movies that I remember when you used to be with us. You used to go, you used to join everything the movies. So as fortunately we got very good session today, as you proved in detail that movies are really needed, and movies are the mirror of society. So this is very correct, and it was very insightful session by you. I think we all enjoyed it, and we'll provoke other people as these sessions are being recorded. So we'll provoke all people, all students as they join us. We'll just ask them to watch this session. Really, it was very good session, and I must say that it is the very first session as I could listen in whole. So, sir, we would be calling you again and again on on these webinars, or sometimes we would like to call you in seminars also. So we further, I would like to say that you go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. Shinde, sir, thank you very much. I thank all those who were directly, indirectly involved in this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.